To Sandy for moral support. My name is Rainey, and I don't even know if Pat remembers this, but long ago at Sunnyside, we also had a co-op swap shop where parents and nannies and grandparents could bring children in a little play space, and let's say you had a year-old child, you outgrew their clothes, you could leave those and then take the next size up. And I have twin boys and an older daughter, so we moved to Portland in March of 2010, pouring rain. My husband traveled a lot for work, so here I am at home with 3 little kids and nowhere to go. So I found basically Sunnyside Methodist Church, where the swap shop was housed. And at some point, I became certified to teach yoga. And Pat was one of my very first yoga clients in the little prayer room. Do you remember that? I used to call it Church Lady Yoga. And it was you and a couple other girls and Karen, who was heading up the swap shop. So to me, Pat was like the church lady, right? I didn't know about all of these other millions and trillions of things that she did, until I developed a fertility yoga series, and one of my students invited me to an event, and it was here. What was the name of the support group? I'm trying to remember. Brief Encounters. And this particular student was doing some poetry, and other women were doing songs, and so then here I was at Peace House, and Pat was here. And I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. So once again, our worlds collided. The Church Lady Yoga, yes. Then the third point was also at Sunnyside, and my friend Holly and her 2 sons were helping to pack lunches. One summer, I think my boys were maybe 10 and they're 16 now, and I didn't know about the Hard Time Supper until I arrived there, and there was Pat, again. Like all roads converge to Pat. And then I've helped out kind of on and off through the years with that ministry. And now's when I'm gonna probably cry, but a year and a half ago, my husband died. And I called Pat, and she said, do you want to have the memorial at Peace House? And we did, and it was like the most painful and the most beautiful day of my life and my kids' lives, and we live streamed it, so family, all of Jeff's family all over the place got to be present for that, and she didn't ask me for a dime of anything, and just gifted that to me and my kids. And I really miss you, even though I don't see you very often. And so, yeah, thank you for everybody being here.
My name is Mike, and boy, it's an honor to be here, Pat. Wow. I've been walking around taking photographs because Pat wanted me to take some pictures so she can look at these pictures 40 years from now and remember people's faces. So, but, Scott Peck said something, and he wrote the book Road Less Traveled. He said the primary cause of all human suffering is the inability to feel one's pain. Okay? And I thought that was an interesting story when you just told us about this woman walking in here and saying, what is this place? And then you explained, and then she could feel it. And then that's a powerful story to tell. I'm so grateful you told the group that story, because you helped me get through a lot of stuff. I mean, we have one thing in common: we're both registered nurses, so I've seen a lot of stuff, just like you have. But you've helped me through a lot of stuff. I remember you helped me through, a really difficult divorce. some really personal things that happened. I told you things about being raised by a career military officer, and the things that I went through. I think we talked about when my 19-year-old grandson was killed in a motorcycle accident. And then I talked to you a lot about Vietnam. But I was an Army medic in Vietnam, and I came back from that war, and I realized that the entire war was a total, complete lie. And so over the years, we've talked about those kinds of things. And I've done a lot of photojournalism. I'm writing a book right now. It's a photo book. It's a photo essay book, and it's about the lies of the Vietnam War. And interesting, the title of the book is called "Death of a Core Belief System," because that's what Vietnam did for me. I was raised by a military officer. We lived in Japan, Germany, East Coast, West Coast. So I grew up on a lot of military bases. So I believe that America was the greatest country in the world. And then when I came back from Vietnam, I had a powerful epiphany. I mean, it revolutionized my life. Once you see the truth, you cannot unsee it anymore. But I've always felt comfortable here. I've always felt comfortable around you and John because we speak emotional language here. And I think that's the thing. I felt comfortable about telling you things that happened in my life. Things that I probably would only tell a therapist, So you will always be dear to me. And you're one of my mentors. I'm sure that everybody in this room would probably say the same thing. So God bless you. Thank you for everything.
Amen.